Okay, so now we're in the garage, and you can see that I've set up a table, and on the table I've placed a moving blanket, and this is our cooling table. And so after 20 minutes, the jar is boiling in the canner. We take the rack out, we bring the rack over here to this table. This is a jar lifter. You grab the jar and pull it out of the rack and put it here. And we just let them sit here, and they'll sit here all day, and even probably tomorrow morning, and we'll just let them cool on their own. As they cool, they'll seal, and the lids, it'll create a vacuum. The air will come out. The lid will, with the rubber seal, will stick to the jar, and these will then be able to be stored for 2 years. I think the book in there says 2 years, but I can tell you, as a kid, my mother canned everything, and we ate food out of jars that had been canned, many years before. But that was my folks. So it's going to sit here and it's going to cool. Now, the important thing is that this is batch number 1, and you notice that we got them clustered together. The jars are clustered together. Batch number 2 will be, placed in its own group, and that's real important because we're going to label these later, and it's very important that when you label your jars, that you say the date that it was canned, what's in the jar, and the batch number. So this will be batch number 1. And the reason why you want to know batch number is if, let's say, December of this year, we open up a jar and it turns out that it's bad, that it didn't seal correctly, that means that batch number 1 is suspect. It doesn't mean that they're all bad, but it means that you really should look at batch number 1. So by labeling them with their batch numbers, we'll be able to do a little better quality control. So this is where they'll be. So we'll stack all of our jars here. We're going to do 4 loads of quarts and 1 load of pints today. And now what we'll do is, we've done a lot of talking. Now what we'll do is we'll take you inside, and we'll actually do a load, do a batch, load jars, and you'll get to see how it all works. Okay, so now that we've kind of talked you through everything of the stages and the steps, we're actually going to show you, us actually putting berries in a jar. All right, so again, we have the cleaning station. The girls have these so nicely cleaned, and they're ready to go into the blanching process. All right, beautiful blueberries. Okay, so over here we have a boiling pot of water that we're going to blanch in, and here we have a very hot boiling pot of our simple syrup. It's a light syrup, and here we have some blueberries that I've blanched already once, but they've sit here and cooled down, so I'm just going to hit them again real quick. And while that's happening, I'm going to go into my dishwasher, and I'm going to get a clean, hot jar, and I'm going to put a ½ cup of 10% syrup in my jar. I'm going to then start putting this paper plate is just here to help steer the berries into the jar. Right, so I've done that, and I want to tap this down like that, and I got to get some more berries. 30 seconds into the blanch. You just wait. You can see that they're turning a dark purple. It's this blanching also helps push air out of the berries, which is, air is a nasty thing to canning. So that's helping them get the air out. So now these can go, what's left to fill my jar. Smack this down. We want a 1/2 inch headspace, and you can see there, I have my berries filled in there. So now we take it up to 1/2 inch with our syrup. If you look down here, Shannon, you can see that I'm filling it up to the bottom of the green. Thank you. Filled it up to the bottom of the funnel. That's a 1/2 inch headspace. And now the next step is to wipe our rim down, get any mess that we might have put on there. That if we left mess on there, our jar wouldn't seal. So I want to get it. Lid out with our magnet. Get that centered on there nice. And now when I'm going to tighten this, I'm not going to wrench it down, I'm just going to get it tight. That's all, just tight. Just want to turn the syrup down just a bit. Great, so we're ready for our next jar. Put a 1/2 cup of syrup in our jar. We put our berries in our jar. We cap it down. Get as many in there as we can get. And some cleaned ones, 30 seconds. See how they turn purple almost right away? About 5-6 more seconds. Something like that, pretty close. This is called the hot pack method for blueberries. Oops, got a little carried away there, looks like. I put a little too much, so just shake them out. Dip them out with a spoon. I got carried away. Dog will get that one. How come that burner's on? I turned the burner on. I turned it wrong. There we go. I turned it wrong. I turned it on. And you can see, like, even though I blanched those berries, they're still salt. See, I'm squeezing that berry. They're not mushy, right? So don't think that this is going to make your blueberries mushy. They're not. They're see, look. They're still together. They're still. I fill up the rest of the jar with syrup up to the bottom of the green filter.